recap on the Rolling Stones. How did you all get together in the first place?
I think they all met in clubs in London, jazz clubs. Actually, I answered an advert for a bass player, that's all. But the rest of them got together individually in jazz clubs and formed a sort of a group.
How long ago was that?
2 years.
And what were you doing when you answered the advertisement?
Engineering, actually.
I will move on now to Brian.
Oh, hello.
Brian, how long have you been with the Rolling Stones? Are you one of the original members?
Yes, one of the original members.
What were you doing before you joined?
Well, just sort of bumming around waiting for something to happen, really. You know, I had quite a few jobs, and I was trying to get a band going, but it was unsuccessful until I met up with Mick and Keith, and then that was a successful band.
Well, can you think back to your first engagement? Where was that?
Marquee, Oxford Street, London.
And may I ask how much you got paid for that assignment?
20 quid, which was good, because 6 months later we were still working for 10 quid.
Charlie, we've just heard from your friend how much you were paid for your first engagement. Do you mind if I ask how much you earn a year now?
Thousands.
How many?
Hey?
How many?
I don't know. 200 or 300 a year, isn't it, Bill? What's that? £5 a week.
Yeah,
£5
good.
a week's
Just
about...
turn around. This will let everyone see you.
Yes, I don't know, quite honestly.
Well, how
It's a
about...
$1 million concern, must be.
Sure it is.
Must be.
The fan adulation is something that interests me. Do you ever get fed up with this, Charlie? Would you like a big
No.
long break away from it?
We just had one.
Keith, it's obvious that you don't get your hair cut, but do you get it trimmed from time to time?
Yes, I did it last night, yes.
Last night? Certainly grown a lot since then. What sort of brand image do you feel your group presents to the average mums and dads of Britain?
57 varieties. Yeah. No, I don't know.
Well, does this exercise you in any way? Are you interested in this type of thing?
Not really. I'm not interested in images, no.
Thanks. Now I'll have a word with Mick, the vocalist. One thing I'd like to ask you, Mick, this is your television appearances. We get correspondence in the papers here from time to time about miming. Our television columnists refer to it. How do you feel about miming? Do you think it's a bit of a cheat?
I don't think it's a cheat because everybody knows you're miming.
How do they know?
Well, it's just accepted because there are very few live shows and all the shows are mimed, very few.
Yeah, but don't you think that the large majority of people looking in don't know that?
No, I think nearly the large majority of people do know that.
Well, are you happy enough to mime, or would you prefer to be singing?
Well, I'd like to sing, but you've got to understand that the problems of doing a show such as the ones you see, with about 8 acts on, and doing them all live would take an immense amount of rehearsal.
Yeah.
Really, for a live show, such as there used to be some years ago, it would take 3 days rehearsal, and a show that's mimed only takes an afternoon. So the television people and everybody else concerned rather do a mime show.
I agree. Finally, Mick, how do you compare your group with the Beatles?
I don't know. How do you compare it with the Beatles? I don't compare it at all. There's no point.
Well, let's get right down to brass tacks. Do you think you're better than they are?
At what? It's not the same group, so we just do what we want and they do what they want, and there's no point in going on and comparing us. You can prefer us to them or them to us. This is diplomatic, you see.
Very diplomatic, and I don't want to labour it, but do you feel you do what you want to do better than they do what they want to do?
Yes. Probably. I don't know. I don't know what they want to do, you see. Very diplomatic.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.